Hello everyone. So I'm not really sure if I ever showed you this in my previous videos where I talked about LaTeX and export options or export in general when we use org mode. But when I was trying to use org mode for creating my proposals, yes, I have started using org mode for creating proposals. I wanted to basically use org mode for doing as much as I can. Of course, when you compare something like org mode, where you have this particular file, nothing but a text-based file, which is like a code, and then of course you generate the document out of it, then things will be slightly different. You can't really expect org mode to do each and everything that you were able to do using your what you see, what you get based editors. Now, one thing which I normally do in my documents is I have somewhere in the document a document version. Now, when we talk about proposals, proposals are proper documents. You want to make sure that if you're writing a proposal, then you somewhere mention what changed. For example, if I'm working on a proposal for a client, so let us say the very first proposal would be an initial draft or first version. Then of course, based on some feedback and further discussions with your client, you may create a second version or third version. So it can take some time to reach to reach an agreement. And it is always good to have this version somewhere. Now in Word, if you're talking about MS Word, we do have this concept of tracking, which works. But again, we are trying to not use Word. That is the whole point. And also if you're using something like Confluence, we do have this history. But I think when you're looking at a proposal, usually when people work with proposal, they have a different version or different file altogether. For example, if I'm sending this particular proposal to my client, I'll usually have a separate file, like the output file that I will send to client. And similarly, for each and every version of the proposal, we'll have a separate file altogether. Now, good thing about org mode is that you can of course create a copy of the whole org file. It may work well, but because it is a text-based file, you can always version control it. To keep things simple, just create a copy of it if you want to simplify things and work on the next version. But still, in all the versions or in all the files, it is always good to have some kind of a trail or history of what actually happened or what is the difference in the new version as compared to the previous versions, like a simple point. So in my proposal, I normally have this page called document version, or this section, where I list each and everything. Like version 1 is the initial draft, version 2 could be something else, right? Now the thing is that it is always good to have like a date here. Now when it comes to date, what org mode will do, of course you can insert a date, right, using Control C dot, or you can basically use these angled brackets. It will work fine, but sometimes you have to insert a date dynamically, and for that it is actually very simple. All you need to do, you need to use this particular format to insert date. And of course, when you insert a date, you can of course try to follow whatever you prefer. For example, I prefer, and especially in UK, also in India, people prefer YYMMDD, like something like this, 2020-05-06. So if you follow this format, or basically if you want to insert a date dynamically, you can do that. Now, good thing about org mode is that it is nothing but a file where you can also have some snippets of code to generate these things for you. But this is just a way to format, or basically to insert a date with a specific format. And I thought I'll probably share it with you. Not just about inserting a timestamp when you are performing this export, but also to give you some idea and share my thoughts on using org mode for writing proposals. So far, I think it is working really well because in my proposal, I of course have few dynamic things. I also do some calculations, especially cost. And if you have, let us say, because when you're writing a proposal, in the next version of the proposal, you may change your number of days from let us say 20 to 2 or 20 to 10, then you don't have to like recalculate everything again, because in Word, of course, you have to do it again somewhere separately, maybe using a calculator or using your computer's calculator, but your org file can do that for you. So you don't have to use external methods for doing those calculations. And so far it is working fine. And I will keep you guys posted, and I will keep you guys up to date with my findings of using org mode for writing proposals using LaTeX. The only thing which is not, I mean, I'm personally fine with it, but if you compare a document that you create yourself with all the nice formatting, the LaTeX PDF file or the export file, the export that you do from your org file to LaTeX and then of course to PDF, it is not super fancy, although I quite like it. But again, things are not always nice, especially tables. Tables look weird, but I'm working on it. I'll probably improve it. But so far, I'm happy. So that is all. That is all I wanted to share and talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye bye.